everyone. This is Jeff the Wonderful Pig, a chubby cutie who indulges in delicious food and gorgeous daydreams. Well, when I say daydreams, it's in the literal sense. I mean, nothing is more fascinating than being showered with warm sunshine, falling to sleep, and letting my soul be taken away by a boat against the current of history and mythology, without a care in the real mortal world. Oh, well, um, forgive me for being a little long-winded. Actually, I had a weird dream yesterday, in which an old timer of mine paid me a visit. We had a nice tea party. Well, that was because he has given up drinking alcohol long ago, since he became a bodhisattva. He talked a lot about one of his cool companions on his journey to the West, who suddenly gained a widespread reputation all over the world these days. The first half of this um, monkey's life really gets me. Seriously, it was truly breathtaking. Let's welcome our hero, Sun Wukong, also known as King Kong. I mean, the Monkey King. He was born from an ancient magic stone located on the top of the mountain of flowers and fruit. He grew up, led his fellow monkeys to take a beautiful curve behind the waterfall, and made it into their home, for which he gained support from other monkeys, and they declared him their king. However, after seeing his old comrades dying one by one, the newly elected Monkey King suddenly realized that one day death would come to him as well, and the only way to avoid it is to seek education from an immortal and achieve enlightenment. So he left his homeland, traveled across the unbounded ocean with a tiny raft, and met his first mentor, Master Bodhi. This mysterious sage endowed him with divine powers like 72 transformations and somersaulting clouds, which allowed him to freely shift his shape into anything you can imagine and travel thousands of miles in a cloud in the blink of an eye. And most importantly, the master gave his disciple a human name, Sun Wukong, by which the monkey would soon intimidate the heaven and the earth. Knowing that the monkey brat would become a troublemaker in the future, the master asked Wukong to leave and forbade him to reveal who his teacher was. And just as his teacher predicted, shortly after Monkey King returned home, he went down to the bottom of the ocean, where the palace of the Dragon Kings was located, to search for a powerful weapon that suited his skills. The Dragon Kings gave him their most valuable treasure, the Stabilizer of the Four Seas, which later became the monkey's iconic magic staff, the compliant golden hooped rod, and was forced to further give him an entire armor set. He then defied the attempt of collecting his soul by the Yama Kings, rulers of the Hell, and wiped out the name of his and all monkeys he knew from Yama's list, so that he and his fellow monkeys would never die. The Jade Emperor, Supreme Lord of Heaven, soon learned about Wukong's misbehavior. To make him manageable, the Jade Emperor granted him a job of protector of heavenly forces. The Monkey King accepted the offer with pleasure, but he soon found that the so-called protector was merely a fancy name for the head of the stable boys, which was too low to even hold an official rank in heaven. Enraged for being deceived, he returned to the mountain of flowers and fruit and proclaimed himself the great sage, heaven's equal. The Jade Emperor sent some of his best generals and soldiers, whom the Monkey King defeated easily. To buy Wukong off, the Jade Emperor reluctantly acknowledged his self-proclaimed title and asked him to guard the Heavenly Peach Garden. I mean, really, what kind of moron would entrust their peach garden to a monkey? So, as you can guess, the Monkey King ate almost all the divine peaches. And when he found out that he was not invited to the imperial banquet, he realized that he was ignored again. He angrily sneaked into the banquet, stole all the fine foods and wines, and ate Sage Laozu's pills of immortality before escaping back to his homeland. In his wrath, the Jade Emperor again sent his strongest army, led by his nephew, the warrior god Erlang, to eliminate the demon monkey. With the help of Lao Tzu, Erlang finally captured Wukong. The Jade Emperor and his divine subject were relaxed, but only for a while, because they had a new problem here. They had no idea how to kill this damn monkey. They tried chopping him with swords and striking him with lightning, but the monkey didn't seem affected a bit. He said,
"What is dead may never die!"
To make Wukong pay for the pills of immortality he stole, Lao Tzu locked the Monkey King into his burning crucible for 69 days, in the hope that the monkey himself would be distilled into pills. However, instead of killing the monkey, the divine flame gave him a new ability, a pair of polished eyes that can see through all evils. Wukong broke free from the crucible. The Jade Emperor desperately appealed to the holy sage in the west. This was the first time the Monkey King met his nemesis, the Tathagata Buddha. The Buddha proposed a bet, promising that he would support Wukong's claim of being the new Lord of Heaven, if the monkey could simply get off his palm. The Monkey King took the bet without a second thought. After all, he could travel thousands of miles in a split second, and how large could a hand palm be? He laughed and flew for quite a while, until he saw nothing but 5 giant pillars holding the sky. Thinking he had reached the end of the universe, he wrote down the phrase, "The great sage was here," and urinated on the middle pillar. He then returned to the Buddha to claim his victory, saying he had proof. The Buddha only smiled. "Do you mean that you marked on the pillar and pissed on it? Look down and see for yourself." The Monkey King did so, and to his surprise, he found that the 5 pillars was actually the Buddha's fingers, and he was in the Buddha's palm all along. Knowing he was beaten, Wukong tried to escape, but the Buddha turned his hand into a mountain that trapped Wukong under it. That sentenced the Monkey King to 500 years in prison, and ended the havoc in heaven for good. Wait, does that mean that Wukong was imprisoned under a pile of rocks, soaked with his own pee? Alright, that was the adventurous early life of Sun Wukong, before he became a disciple of the Tao monk and went on journey to the west. And like all other mythological figures in the world, the character of the Monkey King was not invented out of thin air. The name Wukong, which literally means awakened to emptiness, was derived from an 8th century monk of the same name. In the real history, the monk Wukong traveled all the way from China to India, nearly 200 miles on his foot, just like his predecessor Xuanzang, who was, interestingly, the real-life counterpart of the Tao monk, Sun Wukong's mentor on the journey to the west. So, the novel actually allowed the 2 pilgrims a century apart to meet and accompany each other to achieve their common goal. That was pretty, romantic, wouldn't you agree? The concept of the Monkey King was likely inspired by the traditional Hindu god, Hanuman. He was an immortal monkey who was able to fly across sea channels, transform into the size of a mountain, or shrink down into the size of an ant. He was known for helping the legendary King Rama to defeat the demon army and rescue the king's wife. Besides, the story about how Wukong searched for immortality was possibly based on the legend of no other than his novel nemesis, the Buddha. According to the Buddhist texts, the Buddha was born a prince of a very wealthy kingdom in ancient Nepal. After being confined to a luxurious royal life for more than 20 years, the young prince went out of his palace for the first time and saw an old man, a sick man, a dead man, and a monk. The foresight made him realize that neither power nor wealth could last forever. He didn't really have anything if he couldn't avoid senescence, sickness, and death, and the only way out was to become a monk and seek enlightenment. So just like Wukong did in the novel, the prince chose not to stay. He left the palace, and after several years of asceticism and meditation, he finally found the truth of the universe, and was from then known as the Buddha, the Enlightened One. Okay, enough background info. Let's come back to the story of Wukong. To be fair, his turmoil-causing behavior cannot be completely justified. The dragon and the Yama Kings merely did their duty, and even as for the Jade Emperor, we cannot really say he was very mean to Wukong. I mean, he may have accepted Wukong unwillingly with a selfish motive, but still, he tolerated Wukong, granted him the title he wanted, and Wukong's rebellion against them doesn't seem to have a very solid reason. But on the other hand, These gods control everything under heaven, manipulate humans as they wish, and struck people down with thunderbolts if the latter dared to say a word against them. And the mortals, they could do nothing but kneel, pay their homage, beg for the gods' mercy, and dare not to complain because they would be horribly punished if they did so. That's why a lovable rock like Wukong, who is brave and strong enough to rebel against this kind of systemic injustice, would automatically become a hero of those who are oppressed. This is a quality only the most valiant ones possess, and none of us is as marvelous as Wukong. But we all wish that at a certain point of our lives, and somewhere in our hearts, there will be a Monkey King, ready to wield his invisible staff and give us the courage to stand up for what is right.
Who was he?
Who's Edmond Dantes? And who's my father? And my mother? My brother? My friend? Who is you? And me? He was all of us.
That's it. I think I have talked too much today. It's the time to eat some trees and go back to my resting pen. I hope I can dream of my old pal again, and if so, I'll bring you more interesting stories about his journey next time. Have a good night. I mean, good day.